What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. There is a lot that we need to talk about, so let's do this, shall we? So, I got a good night's sleep last night, and hopefully, you guys did as well too. Now, some of y'all probably wondering, okay, that sounds awesome, and some of y'all going, why didn't you get a good night's sleep for? Did you are you not having good sleep or something? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because Trump is no longer the president of the United States. That is why I had a good night's rest. And the inauguration was truly magnificent and it was also motivational, but I'm going to talk about that later on. What I want to talk about first is about how in Trump's last hours as president, he decided that he wanted to do a few things in which he thought was basically a good idea. So, if you don't notice, he decided to grant clemency to about 140 plus people. So it was like 143 people, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at this list, looking at some of the people he put on that list, you just go, okay. Because some of the people that was on that list were Steve Bannon, who had pleaded not guilty for, to charges he defrauded donations in the We Build the Wall online fundraising campaign. So basically, he got about like $25 million and, for building this wall. And he only spent like $1 million worth for his own personal use. And the trial still hasn't gone on, but yet Trump tried to pardon him for everything some way. Along with that, he also pardoned Lil Wayne, who pleaded guilty to a gun purchase charge. I mean, yeah, I don't know. And then he also tried to do it for Kodak Black, who pleaded guilty to a weapons charge. Now, some of them, I believe, went through, some did not. And Trump even talked about adding more and more people to, give pardons to. And along with that, he actually had somebody who everyone was talking about last year because it was on Netflix series and everything. I'm talking about Joe Exotic, aka the Tiger King. And he had a whole limo waiting for him outside and everything once he was to be pardoned. But apparently that didn't happen. So Joe Exotic waited and waited in that jail cell. And I don't know how this happened, but apparently the dude had an iPad, and apparently the reason why he didn't get pardoned was because he was too gay to get a pardon. So I'm just going, who gonna pay for that limousine? Like who paying for that? Trump is, right? Just making sure. But along with all that, Trump's administration, they also did a few last minute changes. And hearing about these changes, it's really obscure and, upsetting to even hear about this. So a few things he did was he basically, social service providers can discriminate based on sexual orientation. Uh, Adoption agencies can turn away same-sex couples. So basically, if a gay couple wanted to adopt a child, the adoption agency can just turn them away. And basically, homeless shelters can turn away queer teens and everything else on the way. Again, he thought it would be smart to do all this in his last few hours as president. Let me tell you, that's all going to change, okay? Because what happened with the inauguration and what happened after the inauguration was just very, very mind blowing. And I love the fact that President Biden actually did that. It's just fun to say that. President Biden, just fun to even say that. Don't you agree? Basically, uh, we're talking about the inauguration for President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. And like I said, it was very emotional and very motivational and inspirational as well. Now, I didn't get to watch all of it because I was at work and everything. But once I got home, I did watch the parts that I missed. And let me tell y'all, it was very great. It's very wonderful and everything's on the way. You know, the whole thing, people coming in and everything, sitting down, you can recognize all the people that came through and everything. It was something. And when Lady Gaga came out singing the national anthem along with J Lo singing America, the Beautiful, both of those were lovely. Now when Garth Brooks came out, on the other hand, that was just something else. I know he wanted people to sing with him, but at the same time, bruh, you doing too much. Just just a little bit. You're doing too much. You know, we right here. You go like up here. You just doing a little bit too much, okay? But again, this inauguration, it was very inspirational because, you know, seeing the swearing in Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first woman, first Black American, and first South Asian American to serve as a vice president, and it was just amazing for that. And she took the oath on the Bible of the late Justice Thurgood Marshall. Now, Thurgood Marshall was the first Black justice to be appointed on the U.S. Supreme Court in 1967. And with that happening, it was very monumental. Now, she was sworn in by Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is the first Latinx justice on that bench. And just seeing that smile come from her face after, you know, saying everything along the way, and seeing the smile from her husband, you know, even though they had on masks, you can just tell from their, you know, from their faces, it was very lovely. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but beforehand, Vice President Harris was escorted by Capitol Police Eugene O. Goodman. And if you don't know this story, you should probably watch my last video, or if you know somewhat about it. But when the riot happened, Officer Goodman, he basically distracted the rioters that came in, and he tried to get them away from the justice, and he brought them to a different location where more and more police officers did. And because of that, he was recognized as a hero. He's basically a superhero, I will say. He's a badass superhero. And after that riot, he became the Deputy Senate Sergeant at Arms, which is just amazing. So congratulations to you, Officer Goodman. Now, going on with the inauguration, after Vice President Harris was, you know, sworn in, we went to President Biden's. President Biden's speech was words that I can't explain, but I will try my best. Basically, I rewatched the speech about 3 or 4 times because, you know, it was just that good, and I wanted to get more and more from it as well. You know, it will be in the history books, I will say. There's going to be a lot of things going in the history books. Like the riot's going to be in history books, what happened in 2020. All this stuff is going to be in the history books. And, you know, listening to Biden's speech, a lot was going on in my mind. It's just a lot was, you know, just making me think about everything that's coming for the future. But in his speech, there was 2 things that really got me. Now, maybe it didn't get to you guys, but it did to me a lot. And this is the first part that got to me.
Many centuries ago, St. Augustine, a saint of my church, wrote that a people was a multitude defined by the common objects of their love. Defined by the common objects of their love. What are the common objects we as Americans love that define us as Americans? I think we know. Opportunity, security, liberty, dignity, respect, honor, and yes, the truth.
Oh yeah, you know what he was talking about when he said that. You all know exactly the moment he said that what he was talking about. If you don't know, go back just a little bit and rewatch that over and over again, so that way you understand what he's talking about. And then look at the news media for the last 4 years. You understand what I'm talking about. Okay. And then the second part basically that got to me was this, and it was truly amazing to hear.
My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you. I will defend the Constitution. I'll defend our democracy. I'll defend America. And I'll give all of you, keep everything I do in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together, we shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answer the call of history.
And continuing on with the inauguration, there was a poem that was so inspirational, so powerful, magnificent, and so much more that I rewatched that a few times as well. I'm talking about the poem that was said by Amanda Gorman, and she's gonna make history from year on in. Now, she was actually the first ever National Youth Poet Laureate for the inauguration, and that was so badass. If you did not watch that poem, you have to go and listen to this poem. If you did listen to it, you can hear everything that she was talking about with this nation. And she also put in a few Hamilton musical references in it. And when she went on Twitter, she said it. She asked Lin Manuel Miranda, who was the creator of Hamilton. She asked if he knew that she actually did that, and he did, and he loved it. And along with that inauguration, so much more was just awe-inspiring. Like seeing how former presidents Barack Obama, George Bush, and Bill Clinton came together and gave Biden advice about what's to come for the nation. Now, Carter couldn't come because he's in his 90s, and him and his wife, it's difficult for them to travel along with COVID-19 happening. And Trump, he's just Trump. He's just like, peace out. I don't want to deal with this no more. I like, cool, great. But I will say that the clothing attire. Oh, we talking about fashion, y'all. On the fashion point of the inauguration, to all the ladies, y'all were flawless, okay? Dr. Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, y'all were amazing. Former Lady Bush, oh, my God. And then you had Miss Michelle Obama. Y'all, that outfit, she was ready to kick some butts, y'all. I mean, she looked like a bad, you know what? I'm going to stop right there. Because if you know that reference, she was a bad, I'm going to stop right there. But she looked phenomenal, along with the other ladies at the inauguration and all the fellas. You guys looking amazing out there. So much more. Now, I'm going to say this. I know people panned over to Bernie Sanders and his, where he was sitting in his position. But y'all so wrong for that. Because after that inauguration, the way he was sitting, along with those mittens, I saw so many photos, like so many meme photos of Bernie, and I'm just over going, y'all wrong, so wrong. But at the same time, I love some of them. But that's beside the point, okay? But, on the day that Joe Biden became president, he did so much in that day. And one of the things that he did, it was really epic, and I'm glad that he did this. He asked for the resignation of Surgeon General Jerome Adams. Thank you for that. And when this happened, Adams said on social media, he said, I hope in 2021 and beyond we can focus more on what unites us and rise above what divides us. Yes, and I'm glad that you're not there to deal with, making all these craziness going on. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's just the truth. But going on with all this inauguration, President Biden, he signed a lot of executive orders. He signed dozens, in fact. And he was aiming to reverse all the damages that Trump did on climate crisis, civil liberties, immigration, and what's going on with COVID-19. Things like rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement. He also mandated mask wearing on federal properties, supported for underserved communities, and he also was dealing with immigration reform, a pathway on citizenship, and reuniting separating families, and so much more. Now, people, these next 4 years are going to be a lot. And I know it's going to be difficult because, a lot of people are like, oh, what's to come? I know the past 4 years, we dealt with hell. These next 4 years, who knows what's to come? It can be good. It can be bad. who knows what's to come. I'm 50-50 on this, but at the same time, I'm glad that we don't have to deal with someone who thinks that it's okay to make fun of certain races or make fun of other people as well. I'm happy for that. To Joe Biden, to Kamala Harris, and to many others, I want to say congratulations. Again, people, these next 4 years could be difficult. President Biden, Vice President Harris are just two people, okay? We have to make sure that we all be united and make sure we can work together. Again, there's going to be people that's going to be disagreeing with me, and I understand. But again, it's a lot to go with. All right? But with that being said, you guys, let me know what you guys think about the inauguration if you watched it. If you watched the whole thing, what are you guys' thoughts about it? If you only watched certain parts of it, what are you guys' thoughts about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what is on you guys' thoughts. What you got going on, everything's on the way, okay? But like, share, comment, subscribe. Let the people know that I'm out there getting the information in, because I am actually out there getting the information so that way you guys can know about that, all right? And I want you guys to still be safe out there, because there is still a pandemic happening, okay? So make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you wash your hands, social distance, and that kind of thing, and so much more. All right. With that being said, I love all you guys. Peace out.